Hi guys, it's the Alan Girl and I'm back with another reaction video for you today. And today I'm reacting to reason to move to the UK. Why I left the US for the UK. And I'm getting this from She Runs the World. Love her channel name. Please, the link will be in the description below. Guys, go over and show her some love. All right, so we're going to get right into this video to see the reason why she decided to leave the US and move to the UK. So come on in, right back with a smile on your face. If you're first time here, thank you for coming. And to all my regular schmeglers, day one, sweetie pie, sweetie poos, come on in, right back with a smile on your face and enjoy. All right, so let's get into the video. Here we go, right about now.
Over the last 5 years, I have lived and traveled all over the world. It started off by getting a teaching job in China right after graduation and living there for, a year, followed by 6 months of backpacking Asia, then moving to Prague for another teaching job, and then Vietnam after that. Once I was done teaching, I was able to get a fully remote job and live the digital nomad lifestyle while traveling South America, which was, oh my God, it was incredible. And honestly, I had every intention of continuing to do that, lifestyle for the next year and maybe even next year too, all around Europe. So you might be asking yourself, why did you move to the UK then? Or what made me want to live here? So like I said, I had a fully remote job and we were kind of toying with the idea of bouncing around Europe month to month, like we did in South America, or doing like 3 months in Europe and 3 months out, like maybe in the UK, Turkey, or somewhere outside the Schengen zone, since Americans are only allowed to stay in that area for 3 months at a time. It was never really on our agenda to just like fully move to the UK and like settle here. But long story short, I ended up getting an amazing job opportunity here in the field I've always dreamed of working in. So it just worked out and all of our plans were completely changed within like a week, which has just been so crazy trying to find an apartment, which, oh my God, honestly is the most challenging and frustrating process I've ever been through. I'll do a full video on that later, and all the other things that come along with moving to a new place. So the short answer to the question, why did I personally move to the UK, is I got a great job opportunity, but I wanted to focus this video on reasons why you should move to the UK, or the pros of moving to the UK from the US, in my opinion. Don't kill me if you don't agree with some of these points. They are simply my opinion. First off, let's talk about the...
So I love the fact that she traveled. I just the way she's been exposed to so many different culture, food, and everything, and you can tell that she loved it while she was doing it. But like she said, she got a great job opportunity, so I can only imagine it had to be great for her to decide to settle in the UK, because those places that she named that she's been to, it sounds amazing.
Working culture. This is something I've always disliked about America and like American culture in general. We just focus our entire lives around work.
Yep.
And I want to focus my life on living, like enjoying my life, which a lot of other countries do so well, especially in Europe, but also here in the UK too. So at my current job that I just got, I am a full-time employee, and that means working 35 hours a week, which is so crazy to me. I thought that was a typo on my work contract, but no, it's real. I also get 38 vacation days a year, 33 to use whenever I please, and 5 more because we are closed the week between Christmas and New Year's. And I think any American would agree that that is just insane. Like, most of my jobs in the US have always been about 5 vacation days per year. So when I read 38 in my contract, I almost had a heart attack. I was like, wow, they actually genuinely want me to have a good work-life balance. What a concept. Also, just to go along with this, the maternity leave is up to 1 full year, which again is just so crazy to me considering the US federal law entitles you to 0 days. But anyways, moving on. Another...
Baby, she said 38 days leave. I'm like, what? She gets 38 and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. 38 days. Huh? You're damn right. You don't even get a whole week here. So there's no work-life balance. And it's a lot of videos that I've been reacting to lately. And that's one of their main reasons why they prefer Europe or the UK. Because they're like, listen, there's a work-life balance here that you definitely don't get in the US. Not to mention, she said, maternity leave, which is a mandated thing, one whole year, but here in the US, you don't get none. Whoa, like I said, this is just insane.
A huge factor for me and probably anyone considering moving here is its geographical location. Like practically anywhere in Europe is less than a 2-hour flight away, and you can find incredibly cheap flights. Like when I just use Google Flights flexible searching options and just click, anywhere in Europe at any time, I've found round trip flights to Malaga, Spain for £20, Oslo, Norway for £33, Rome, Italy for £38. So if you're just living here full time, just whenever you find a cheap flight like that, you can easily just pop over there for the weekend. So as someone who absolutely loves to travel, this is a huge positive for me to be able to see as much of Europe as I can. But also, I've been dying to travel more of the Middle East, and the flights are still, super quick and affordable to some of those countries as well. Obviously, comparing that to the States, like I've found flights to Israel for only £80 round trip, and it's only 5 hours away. So it could easily be done in a 4 to 5 day trip, which you obviously could not do from the States. And lastly, because it's such a huge travel hub with, a ton of airport options, it really is easy for friends and family to come visit from the States, which I like. There are several direct flights daily from LA to London, and I found such good deals. So it'll be nice to actually have visitors while we're living here. And to piggyback off the last point, yes, it's so close to so many amazing and beautiful travel destinations, but the UK within itself is a major travel destination. It has way.
Baby, did she say 30, 40, 50 pounds for a flight to different places in Europe? When I saw the numbers, I was like, what? And they're not that far away. I'm like, oh my word, that is just amazing. You can take a weekend, like a weekend. I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie, guys. That's a shocker. And I'm like, what? That cheap? 20, 30. When she pull it up, and I'm like, are you serious? Now I see. This is one that would push me to live in the UK. Definitely. And it doesn't even matter if it's not even just in the European region. Because she says she wants to go somewhere else, and it's only going to cost her about 80. And I'm like, guys, when I leave here, I'm ranting a little bit. From Alaska to New York, round trip, one person, $500 from Alaska, just to go to New York. Or the cheapest I'll get maybe is like 300 and something. And, it's me and 5 kids. So, I'm paying. This is unbelievable. Yeah. Ain't gonna lie, unbelievable.
More diversity than I ever knew before moving here, and since it's so well connected by trains and buses, it's relatively easy to see it all, even though I don't have a car. Like, not only do you have the big cities with beautiful architecture like London, Oxford, Edinburgh, but you also have the countrysides and the Highlands and the Lake District. And something that completely shocked me, tons of beautiful beaches and islands. Like, when you think of the UK, you do not think of islands with crystal clear water, but no, they exist. You have some white cliff with ocean views that are great for hiking. And honestly, the list just goes on. And that's something that's really important to me when I'm picking a place to live. Like, I'm from the States. We are a massive country filled with so much to do and so many beautiful sights to see. And that's how I felt when living in China and Vietnam too. Like, yes, they were great travel hubs for traveling other parts of Asia, but the amount of things to do just within each of these countries is insane. And since I'm always itching for a travel adventure, it's perfect for me. I'm so excited to get out and find these beautiful hidden gems all over the UK, since there's just so much more to do and see here than most people think, myself included. This next point is specific to.
Not gonna lie, this is another major one since looking into the UK and a place that I fell in love with. There's so much to do and see. She is so right about that. Not only that, she said something that hits with me. It's like, when you think of the UK, you don't think of beaches. It's just the truth, guys. You don't necessarily think of beaches. You don't necessarily think of going and say, listen, I'm going to the beach today. Different little islands and you don't. But then when you start looking into the UK, you're like, what on God's green earth? This place, so much sightseeing, so many historical, there's so much to see and do. And then one thing I also love is the fact that there's buses, there's train to connect you from left or right. You don't necessarily have to have a car. Unlike here, it's not as easy. It's costing your arm and a leg to get around. So that I can definitely appreciate, and I see where she's coming from with that.
To living in London and probably some of the other big cities in the UK, like Birmingham or Edinburgh, but I love not having to drive. And unless you live in New York or Chicago back in the States, you absolutely have to drive. Like, I just much prefer walking everywhere and taking public transportation everywhere. I feel like I'm always active and like working out without even really realizing it. Plus, I really feel like I get to know my city more when I'm walking around instead of driving. Like, you should see my average steps for the month of June being back home in LA. It's very sad versus being here the month of August. Like, you can literally see the difference. The stats don't lie. And you feel the difference too. Like, it's just so funny because back home, I literally live on the same street as a grocery store, but it's like weird to walk there. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but basically I don't go to the store unless I get a ride. Like, you will not see me walking there, but here I'm like, wow, it's 3 miles away. Like, sweet, let's just walk. It's just a totally different culture, and it's really socially acceptable to just walk everywhere since most people are doing it. I'm sure there are more things, like as soon as I'm done recording this or I post it, I'm going to think of more, but those are really like the main reasons why I moved to the UK and why I'm so happy to be here. You know, the working culture, the travel opportunities, both inside the UK and all around, you know, Europe, Middle East, and like, you know, close regions, and not having to drive everywhere or own a car, which is expensive.
I love that. Here, it's the truth. If you want to go down the road, you jump in your vehicle. If you want to go around the block to visit somebody, you jump in your vehicle. People don't necessarily think about walking for real. And that's one of the things I notice about the UK culture. A lot of people do a lot of walking. They're not necessarily driving everywhere. And that's amazing. And she is right. When you walk, you tend to get to know the place more. And when you look at the difference between when she is in the US and when she's there, the amount of walking she does in the that is crazy. Look at the comparison between the two. But like she said, it's expensive to have a car, to own a car, but yet still there's access to buses and everything as well. But she decides to walk because more people are doing it. It's just the norm to do it. Listen, man, those are amazing reasons to move to the UK. It is because the work-life balance, having access to so many different places to explore and enjoy is just amazing. And then she said the work-life balance, the leave, everything that you think of, it's just, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's amazing.
Obviously, since I live here now, I have so much UK content and London specific content coming your way. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on fully detailed itineraries, hidden gems to visit, and so much more. And if there's anything you'd specifically like me to make a video about in the UK or in regards to, you know, like
great video. Like I said, she runs the world. Love that video. Don't forget to go over and show her some love, guys. The link will be in the description below. Like I said before, it hits when somebody else outside move from outside of the US and go to the UK and talk about all these pluses that do not exist in the US. You'll be like, yeah, I need to run there. This is the life I want. This, especially when you have kids, you just want that balance as well, to just be there and have fun as a family and not always thinking about work. And if you don't work, you can't feed your family. And then if you do get pregnant and so forth, you have to stress yourself because you have to go back to work because people are going to get hungry. It's crazy. And there's so much to see and do. Don't get me wrong. America is a huge country. But it costs you so much to explore. And if you're working, you don't have that time to necessarily explore. You understand what I mean? It's yeah. It's a great video. So don't forget to give this one a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys. And if you'd like to become a member, the link will be in the description below as well. Come on in, join the family. It's your island girl, and I'm running out of here. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. And I'll definitely catch you guys in another video. Bye.